Coming. Hey, Sheena. Oh! You're not Sheena. Our wonderful fig tree is getting tall again and kind of taking over the deck again, as you see. You can't really sit in that corner anymore. And it's getting harder and harder to walk down the ramp. It's about halfway obstructed. So after the fig harvest this year, and you can see we're getting there. After the harvest, we'll cut back a lot of this growth. This is a very healthy tree. We're going to go look at that little building over there again. While I was gone to Mississippi, Adam made a start on our improvements on this building, our continued improvements, in spite of the constant rain that he had to battle with. I'm going to show you what he's working on. This is just a very plain cement block, cinder block building. We think that the man who used to live here used it as his business, because I noticed that there's some numbers on the side of the building, and then we realized that's probably a phone number. And I think that he had more lettering up here that later you can kind of see the words here. It's quite noisy along this road, which is right there, so I have to keep pausing the video. Anyway, this building has some really good points and some really bad points. One of the first bad points you see here is the framing around the doors is just appalling. It's really, really bad. Although the door itself is not too bad. Got some nice steps. The cinder block, of course, is very sturdy. Adam put a new roof on it, and I'll try to include some pictures of when he did that, and that was quite a number of years ago, probably 4 years ago. But he put a new red metal roof on it himself. He did that to see if he felt comfortable enough to do it on our house, and realized no, he did not. That's quite challenging. But he did succeed in doing this building. And then probably 2 years ago, he totally replaced the floor in this little building all the way down to the ground. We're going to go inside in just a second. I'll show you what he got done while I was gone to Mississippi. This is some of the wood he stripped out from the inside. You can see some of our efforts to seal it up to keep the bugs out. This is a second door that faces the road, and we want to get rid of this door. We don't really want that door. It's got another stoop out here. There were a pair of windows here that were very loose and leaky, wooden windows that let in all kinds of bugs and drafts and everything. So he took them out and framed up this side using some wood from an old headboard from an old bed of ours. And then he got a new window to put in here. He's going to take this door out and reframe this and put a window there that will hold an air conditioning unit, because this room needs to be air conditioned. He's also going to put some kind of a mesh or screen on there that you can apply concrete to, and then you can make little ridges that make it look like the rest of the block. Anyway, you can kind of make this fit in. He'll do that on the window and over here, so that you really can't see that there used to be a door or window there. So that will improve this side and get rid of some of our leaks. This is an old bed that Adam made just temporarily for one of our kids years ago. And he's taken it apart. He's going to use that piece of plywood because building materials are so expensive right now. And that would be really helpful. Keep us from buying one piece. I'm going to take you inside here. I was going to wait until we had cleaned it up more, and then I thought, you know, That's exactly the kind of YouTube channel I don't like, is where everything is so tidy. So I'm going to take you in here so you can see what it looks like before we really get started. This has been our storage room. First, let me show you. That's one of the windows over there that he took out. Now the things that we have in here are a dresser. There's the new door. Maybe it's going to go there. I'm not sure where the new door is going. And there's a whole bunch of sheetrock back there. And we have a big futon here. We're going to get rid of that upholstered chair over there. I think I'm going to get rid of this little child's bench too. I just don't have a place for it. This is a rocking chair that Adam got me when I had Julia, but I never really used it because it didn't have arms. That's an old rocking chair that belonged to my grandmother that she rocked my daddy in. So it's like 100 years old. We have the Christmas tree. But what Adam, oh, and the other thing he did a couple years ago is he built what's called a knee wall in here. You can see it's just that straight cement block. There's no insulation in this building. That's one of its big problems. But he's stripping out this edging up here. He's going to put sheetrock on the ceiling, so he has to pull these boards out. You can see he's pulled them out over there as well. He's going to build a new wall. Let me back up some. He's going to build a new wall that's going to start in between those two windows, or the old opening and the new window, and it's going to run all the way across this back wall, and that's going to insulate that wall. He's also going to add insulation on the other walls with new stud work and that kind of thing. And Julia will paint it later. But back inside of there, that's going to be about 4 feet deep. We're going to have a narrow storage room, and then on the other end we're going to have a closet, because this room could use a closet. And for as long as she wants to be here, this is going to be Julia's kind of room, a little studio apartment. This building does not have any sewage, obviously, so there can be no bathroom. But it does have electricity that Adam has been working on, and it's in a rudimentary state. You see he's still working on the knee wall, which holds the electricity. So it's got a ways to go, but the floor is really good. We stripped it all the way down to the ground, and he put in a barrier down there and treated the soil for termites and put in all new heavy joists and cross beams, and then this was new plywood, and then I painted it with some porch paint, so it's actually in pretty decent shape. There's a lot of work to be done here. Hopefully the rain will be gone by the time we get back around to it, and he can finish this up for Julia. Meanwhile, she's in our guest room. But that's the project in here, and I'm going to keep you posted on how that goes. Let me take a second, too, to talk about cilantro. I love cilantro, and I grow a lot of it in my herb bed. This is my horseshoe-shaped herb bed with lots of mint over there, a big tarragon bush, lots of oregano in here, and then this is a big patch of lemon balm. And then I've got a little bit of dill over there that's drying. We use this mostly in salads and for cooking. But I have a lot of cilantro. Cilantro is a cool weather herb, and so by the time we get to late June, it has grown, and it's dried and gone to seed. And you have all these wonderful seed heads. And this is how I keep my cilantro from year to year. I just strip these off of here and sprinkle them back in the soil. Matter of fact, I yank these plants out by the roots and just strip the seeds off. And this is how I reseed my cilantro. I haven't bought new cilantro seed or plants in years and years because every plant produces so many seeds. And so I'll reseed this in here, in among my lemon balm and oregano, which is perennial. Everything else in here is perennial. The only thing I really have to start from seed every year is basil. I do buy new basil seed pretty much every year. I've tried keeping basil seeds, and you can start it from your own seed, but I think it does better if you buy new. But this is a very well-established herb bed. I do weed it occasionally to keep it under control. I took all the mint out, and now the mint is just really taken over there. It won't dominate that tarragon bush because that's a perennial tarragon and it's very well established. The oregano might lose out to the mint eventually. It's hard to say, but the oregano has also traveled over here and is doing well over here. And then this lemon balm is just huge and it's quite nice. Actually, the lemon balm is also coming all the way to the end here. This might all be lemon balm at some point. I don't really like lemon balm and I don't want that much of it, but there it is. Herbs are sturdy. Yeah, there's some weeds in there. I need to look at that. I need to address those weeds, but I won't be doing it today. And you can see in my other herb bed, I have even more cilantro. All this dark brown is cilantro, and I'm going to reseed all of that. I've also got some wonderful spearmint down here. I've got a little bit of basil there, and a couple over there. Now I've got a lot of grass weed in here that I need to pull out. And I've got some more in there I need to pull out. Here's some pretty dill. But again, Adam's not making pickles this year and I'm not growing cucumbers, so we have no need for the dill. Here's my thyme. I find thyme to be, it's the least combative of my herbs, so it will eventually be driven out by other herbs, especially if I got anything over here that was very aggressive. I really only got basil down here, which is actually doing pretty well, and I've got one volunteer tomato. But the basil's doing okay. It's getting nibbled on by bugs. It won't force out the thyme. And then down here I have annuals like the cilantro, which is leaning over there. But mostly I need to keep the weeds out of there, and that's hard to do with thyme. The weeds get really embedded, but I need to pick those out. So herb beds are in a bit of a sorry state, but very redeemable. Oh, for those of you who don't think of coastal North Carolina as a very agricultural place, maybe think of it as fishing. We have tons of corn here, and after that severe drought early on, we had lots of rain and the corn just shot up. It's already tasseled now. It's quite tall. You can see our neighbors over there. You can really only see the second story and roof of their house. Eventually that corn will get so tall we won't be able to see their house at all. It really obscures everything here.